back to my channel. Do you like my new plant? She's a Draxinia, and because that is also called a dragon plant, I named her Daenerys. Isn't that appropriate? We're gonna get her up to the door, okay? That's the plan. As you've already seen with the title, we are going into the Jaclyn Hill Vault eyeshadow palette collection. We're gonna talk about her old palette, compare it with shades from the Dare to Create, which the only reason I have this on standby is because I saw Kiki Chanel's video and she compared the olive shades from the Vault collection with the olive shades in this palette. So this is already gonna be an extremely long video. Let me not delay it any further. Oh, it's so hot already and I didn't even start. Now here's the thing. The whole Vault collection came from her original 35 pan eyeshadow palette with Morphe. These were her must-have go-to eyeshadows and it was a hit. Love this palette. All the shadows were immaculate in terms of performance and pigmentation. You could do no wrong with this palette. I mean, it's gorgeous. And then she announced that she actually had a lot more eyeshadow she wanted to put in the 35 pan palette and decided to release the Vault, the ones that didn't make the palette but she still wanted to sell to us. When they sent out the PR packages to all the beauty influencers were running into major problems. The mattes weren't blending, they were patchy, the foils were just like not happening. A lot of negative feedback came from this Vault, and not that that doesn't usually happen with eyeshadow palettes, because it does, as we've seen. Oh, let me just interrupt myself. I did order this before the Pat McGrath Mothership announcement, the newest one. I've been saving my money. I've been putting $5 a day away for that palette, so yes, it was a timing thing. I was not aware of her when I ordered the Morphe thing, okay? I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh, yes. When Morphe and Jaclyn got word about this bad feedback because Jaclyn assured that her eyeshadows are immaculate across the board. So her and Morphe did away with the first launch. They supposedly got rid of and trashed the first set of palettes and re-released the second time. I didn't know this, but the original Jaclyn Hill palette, her eyeshadow formula supposedly is different from the Morphe, just the brand Morphe eyeshadow formula. The eyeshadows from Morphe though, their brand eyeshadows have improved greatly. The Dare to Create, which actually just relaunched as a permanent palette, is probably one of my favorite palettes from the company. And let me also say that I am not an affiliate. I purchased all these palettes with my own money, so I decided to check it out for myself. I wanted to know the tea for myself. I absolutely love the new Morphe eyeshadow formula, and apparently Jaclyn has her own eyeshadow formula within the Morphe brand. Fortunately, it didn't come through for her with the Vault release on the first round. So she re-released, and the scandal surrounding this second release is the fact that they still suck. I have already used 3 out of the 4, and I actually saw several videos addressing the issues, and I've seen a lot of the color combinations that people were using when having issues with, and I wanted to demo those color combinations on here for you, just so we could kind of finagle like what the actual problem is. Let's just quickly get the details on here. Each palette is $15, but you can get the Vault for $49. And when you get the box, this is the box, and housed in here securely in the bubble wrap bag, you get like a little library of palettes. I brought this one with me overnight, and I have the rest of the 3 in here. Ribbon pull so you can take the eyeshadow palettes out easily. And the other scandal, this is now a current lawsuit with the design, because this design very much resembles her old Becca collaboration palette lid design. This one doesn't have the filled in like sprinkly bubble, but this is filled in. I mean, it's very minor, but that's the current lawsuit that Morphe and Becca are now finding themselves in. Who owns the design, who did what, whatever. So Okay. I will demo several things on camera, but I really want to demo Dark Magic. This is the one that I have not touched yet. We're gonna see Dark Magic live and in action, and here is what it looks like inside. These eyeshadows are made in China. They net weight at 16 grams or 0.56 ounces, and each eyeshadow palette has a 12-month expiration shelf life. It's hard to see, but each palette has a different color confetti. So if you look closely, it's very hard to see. This is the Dark Magic palette, so a lot of the confetti has like navy forest green confetti on it. Ring the Alarm has like gold metallic lettering, and this has like burnt orange confetti pieces in it. I really love the design, and I actually really love the size of these palettes. Again, they're 10 pan, they have a mirror inside. It's not huge. I would have loved if the mirror kind of stretched up to the border corners a little more, so it would have been bigger. But I actually like the 10 pan format a lot. I just think, ooh, this doesn't bend back. Man, I don't like that. I just discovered that, sorry. I think these are really great to travel with, and I found that depending on the palette that you use, one is definitely more daily friendly than the other. Dark Magic, for instance, is very dark, and it will be hard to create a day look out of that if you just want to go dark teal in the middle of the afternoon. And also that's the same with Bling Boss. I felt this is the picture of me wearing Bling Boss. You could probably get away with a daily look using Bling Boss, but I feel you would just have to go in with Hush Hush and this shade here, or else it will get dark very quickly. But I digress because I have so many things on my mind, and I'm trying to deliver all these thoughts as efficiently as possible. I'm already feeling, so welcome. What shall we do, guys? You want to do swatches first? Let's do the swatches. I know swatches have nothing to do with the performance of the shadow, but I know they're very satisfying. So therefore, let's get into some instant. First, we'll start with Bling Boss. I went this way instead of that way. I'm sorry. Oh, and the names are on the palette. Very helpful. Thank you very much. We got Mystic, Pizzazz, Gem, Hush Hush, Bling Bling. We got Sparks, Glitz and Glam, Rockstar, Ballsy, and Berry Treasure. Next up, we got Ring the Alarm, which I think is probably the most popular one because I think it's the most user-friendly since there's a lot of orangey reds and browns. Lolly, Rush, On Camera, Boom, and Alert. We got Bomb Ass, Siren, Mugshot, Framed, and Secret. Sorry, frame was on a weird angle on my pinky, so that didn't come out too well. But here is second row of Ring the Alarm. Alright, that is palette number 2. We're halfway there! Oh my goodness me, so many swatches. Armed and Gorgeous was the other palette that was fairly popular because it has the army greens and is also very warm in nature. So here we go in with Armed and Gorgeous. We got VIP, Axis, which is one of the problem shades, Guilt Trip, Coin, and Agent. Top Secret, another problem shade, Smooth Criminal, Secure, Prowl, and Classified. Alright friends, we're almost done. We got one more to go. This is the last one. It's Dark Magic. I didn't swatch her yet, so this is gonna be all new for me, man. Poof, Power Cut. Ooh, that's silvery. Trickery, and Diversion. We got Potion, Busted, Inside Job, Mojo, and Temptress. Just so we can see, this is Potion from Dark Magic. Let's pair that against the one that's in Armed and Gorgeous, because I know people were often asking what really the difference is between those colors. So here's Top Secret from Armed and Gorgeous. I'm gonna set that up right against Potion. They look the same to me. Sure, there might be some nuances in there. I'm not picking it up currently. If I set them together, maybe we could better see. They look similar to me. Listen, we're gonna find out. We're gonna get into this eye look. I am gonna do one eye something, the other eye something else, because I know we wanna see as many examples as possible in action. So I'm gonna make that happen to the best of my ability. And with that said, you know what time it is. Okay, to make sure we see everything, I'm gonna clip this hair back. I believe this is the first time we are seeing my eyebrows up close after my microblading session. That video will be up, I believe, by now when I upload this video. So much easier to draw a pencil in with. And they look bomb without it as well if I'm going for a natural look. Another announcement I would like to make is that I finally received my P. Louise eyeshadow base, and my friends, I have been using it non-stop. I can truly say it has been life-changing. So I'm gonna pop that on. I have the P. Louise base in shade Rumor 3. This was recommended for tan skin. I also have Rumor 2 because the shipping was 10 pounds and I was like, I'm gonna buy 2 and not just pay 10 pounds for 1 tube of eye primer. That's silly. Already here, I'm gonna use the old Becca mirror. So shady. Get that on. You could also use this to carve the row. And would you believe that I have been applying eyeshadow on this as is, no setting with powder. It's recommended that you punch it in with your brush, but I just use my finger to get it in and on my skin. I just feel it leaves me with a nice blend. Alright, I'm going to actually start with the problem combination that I've been seeing a lot of. I'm going to do that on this eye, and then I'm going to do what I did the other day using Armed and Gorgeous. This was my eye look that I had 2 days ago. I really loved how it turned out, but I did make some observations that I will bring to your attention here now in this demo. Keep in mind that the P. Louise base is designed to work as is without powdering, and with that I will now go in with Armed and Gorgeous. Nope, that's not it, that's Dark Magic. So what people have been doing is going in with Axis, yes, this shade first as a transition shade, and then going in with Top Secret. But we're running into problems like Top Secret was not doing much. So I'm gonna take my good old, oh my god, my Wayne Goss is so dirty. I used Bling Boss this morning with it and it's like all purpled out. That's better. Got a lot of kickback in Axis, but you know, we're gonna deal with it. So immediately people were observing how very light this was going on, and they were expecting more pigment from this. I treated this as a blend out shade. I wasn't expecting it to be super yellow from the get-go. To me, this shade is in here to help enhance a look and not necessarily be the look. But naturally people will go in with this shade first to set up the deeper colors in this palette. But you know, I went a little, of course I went on my nose because I'm an idiot, but I find, I don't know if it's the primer or of course Wayne brushes are immaculate and can make anything happen with any eyeshadow, but I do feel that I'm not running into any issues with this shade. I feel it goes on pretty evenly on my lid. So this is shade number 1. I'm going to keep this brush on standby, but go in with Top Secret. And people were saying Top Secret was not latching on to Access. It was coming up very patchy. So I'm going to use my Wayne Goss number 4. And we're going to go in now with Top Secret. Did I even? No, I didn't. That was not in the pan. I'm very sorry. I'm going to now just blend this in on my outer corner. This is what they were saying. So I'm trying to blend this in to Access. Running into problems is coming out very patchy. It's not, and you really have to build up the color. I'm getting a diffused look. I'm not sure if she wanted this to be super green from the get-go. It's not the best blend, right? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm actually, hold on, let me clean that up a little bit, excuse me. I'm gonna take the same number 3 that I originally applied Access with, but I'm gonna go into Top Secret. Make sure my P. Louise is nice and blended. This is what I did. I skipped Access altogether, and I just went in with Top Secret. Now, I find this is not the best matte. I made it work because I spent a lot of time on it. But if you have Armed & Gorgeous and you're frustrated with it, but you still want to make it work, I recommend that you go in with Top Secret first. I'm having a bad time today. This is not what I experienced 2 days ago. Top Secret was the shadow that I found was the most unsuccessful. And maybe I just have to use a different brush. So I'm going to go back in with my number 4 and see what we could get out of this. I remember yesterday I did spend quite a bit of time shaping the olive to my liking, how I wanted it to look on my crease. So you can make it happen. Expect to be here for a little bit, unfortunately. That looks a little better, but I'm working. You know what I mean? If you still want to use Access, I would recommend that you take your fluffier brush and use it to diffuse the edges of Top Secret. I feel that will work out a lot better than you try to put Top Secret on Access. I feel that creates a really nice gradient if you still want to use those shades. If you want to see how Prowl looks, let's just go in with Prowl, in with my number 4. I didn't use this yesterday, so we'll see how this fares out. What kind of depth that will add. So that's Prowl on top of Top Secret. So it added some depth, but I'm sure if I were to add this on the more orange shades, it will turn up more brown. I'm gonna go in with Smooth Criminal just to see what that looks like. I'm just gonna go on this side, put that on the inner portion of my lid. See what we're doing there. Oh, that's pretty. I mean, I went overboard, but oops. Oops. I'm gonna tell you right now, these foils do not pick up well on a brush. And just so you can see, I'm going to use my, why not? I'm gonna use my Wayne Goss number 7, my small shader. Let's go in with Coin. I'm gonna just place that right. Oh, that's not too bad. I do feel you get the most bang out of your buck by using your finger, and I can take advantage of that since I don't have long nails and I can really get in on my lid. I mean, Coin is a beautiful shade. I mean, that's without denying. I didn't use Classified the other day. Same shader brush. Let's see how this picks up. And these will definitely stick better if on concealer, but for the sake of demoing and for the amount we have to get through today, I am just gonna place it on the matte shades. Classified is tougher to work with. Coin, I feel, is it's a smoother formula. I think it melts into the skin better. Classified is more gritty and I feel sits on top, which is actually what I experienced. This is a shade I believe I put on the other day on that look that I showed earlier. Definitely works better if you had concealer on the lid first to set up that stick so it doesn't sprinkle all over your face. All right, so this is with the olive shade on first and this is it on second. I much prefer it to go on by itself on its own. If you want to use Armed & Gorgeous, I would suggest you use this shade as your crease shade and go in with the other shades to create depth, or you just go in with Access and pair it with the other orange shades, because if you put that olive shade on top of the yellow, it is not going to happen. It will. Maybe I'm using the wrong brush. I don't know. Let me know down below if you have experienced this already and you've already found a way, or you found that it worked out. Please let me know. I'm curious though. Hold on. Makeup remover. Oh my god, this is gonna be a long video. And I'm running out of makeup wipes. I'm gonna take this off just one eye. Kiki Chanel was saying the olive shades from Dare to Create performed a lot better. I'm actually curious to see how it fares on top of the yellow shade, just out of curiosity. For the sake of time, I'm gonna take my P. Louise again, but I'm just gonna get it on the lid and not worry about cutting my brow. I actually shouldn't have cut my brow initially, but I just wanted to show you how I've been doing my eyes as of late. So we're just gonna get that on to reset the canvas. Okay. All right, and again with my number 3, I'm gonna make sure that's clean. I wanna get any green on there, hello? Going in with Axis again. I'm gonna just place that here. I'm gonna go in with Agent. I'm gonna deepen it a little bit. I haven't used Agent yet. I just wanna see what that does. Same brush. I like that color. Now with Secure, same brush. Well, these perform a lot better than the olive shade. All right, friends, let's now use the number 4, the smaller brush, going into Dare to Create. Now in with the olive shades in here. So these two, Kiki was saying these two perform a lot better. I'm gonna go in with this one. Let's see what that does. It's probably not gonna show up because I already sealed my fate with applying the oranges, but I don't know, man. This is actually building up quite nicely. Would have gotten a lot more stick if I would have applied it first on the Axis shade, but come to think of it, it's already looking a lot better. Even though I'm not blending it out very well and you can't see the true green shade, it's blending away, but I could understand what she's saying because I did use this shadow alone in another olive look. The one that I did with this one, the one that I did here over at Maddie's house. The olive shades here, I feel in 39A work out a lot better. So here's a swatch. And the one from Jaclyn's palette, yeah, I mean, swatches don't say much, yes, but I feel, yes, Kiki was right. The olives in 39A are a lot better than the ones in her palettes. Jaclyn's palettes, I should say. So we're gonna take both off. Oh no. Okay. Oh, is that coming off? Are we gonna come off? My concealer and everything's gonna be so wrecked. Let's go into Dark Magic. I'm gonna say right off the bat, Ring the Alarm. Here's the look I did with Ring the Alarm. Blew me away. I really love that palette. I love the mattes. I think they all blended beautifully. You could see here, close up, how beautifully it diffused on my eyes. There's no bit of patchiness, and I was up close and you can just, this was not photoshopped either. The shadows I thought blended really well. And yes, some of the foils in there you might have to use with your finger because they could get a little tough in the pan. It's doable though, and I found probably the most successful one thus far that I've used. This one right here I feel is the best one out of the bunch, just based on what I've used and what I've experienced, and they actually last a very long time. Here's a picture of what my eyes look like after 10 hours. Are you gonna focus on me? And it still look pretty rich, so I'm all for it. All right, let's put on this base again. All for the video. Is all for the video. This is totally off topic, but I have now become a Sigma Beauty affiliate. More than welcome to click the link, use the code. Everything is going to be down below in the description box for your shopping pleasure. Already I'm stressed out. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Poof with the bigger, fluffier brush just to kind of see what that does. That's a nice setup shade. If you like to powder down your concealer, I already know I just said I don't powder down my P. Louise, but I just wanted to see the shade work, okay? Now I'm gonna go in with Taupey shade here, which actually looks quite beautiful. Make sure I clean this brush off so it doesn't give me yellow things. Let's see how this does. It's going on okay. That's a low-key shade. Again, I feel it's one that is meant to blend out with. But now, do I have something? I sure do have something on my nose. Go in with Potion. See how Potion does. I think this potion is doing a lot better than the one from Armed and Gorgeous, but it's still a very light wash of color. Now, if you see Jaclyn's eye looks, they are very layered. She layers and layers and layers on until she gets a very highly saturated eye look. And judging from how she does her eye looks, I can understand if she has shadows in here that are not going to be crazy pigmented off the bat, because if they are designed to slowly build, then you have that control. Unfortunately though, the olive shade from Armed and Gorgeous, I just feel does not perform well, even if it's a light wash of color. I think Potion applies a lot better, because this is, look how smooth that looks compared to when we had it alone on this eye. And I understand I did powder this down as opposed to when I didn't powder down on this eye. I didn't think I had a bad time when I used it initially, but it could be that maybe I have to powder down before I go in with Top Secret from Armed and Gorgeous. Maybe that's, you know, the strategy I gotta take. Oh, and let me interrupt, I'm sorry. So much I want to say in one video. I am getting Emily Noel's palettes. They're on their way from Ulta. If you haven't seen that video, I recommend that you see it, but please don't see it while you're doing your makeup like I did. I was nearly in tears while I was applying mascara. Not a good idea. But we're gonna talk more about that another day when I get those palettes. I'm gonna come back on here and use them. I wanna do, ooh, Busted is a really nice deep teal, and Inside Job is a deep forest green. Let's do Busted. I'm feeling Busted, man. Let's do the blue. Let's do the blue. Going in with the Wayne Goss number 4. Circle that in the corner. Oh. Okay. Okay. No fallout. I actually did not experience any major fallout except for when I used Bling Boss earlier this morning. It was that matte shade with the glitter specks in it, which I think generally those types of shades have a lot of fallout because they're grittier in texture because of the sparkles in the eyeshadow. I'm not mad at this one. I actually think this looks pretty good. Doesn't look patchy. It's layering on quite nicely. It's a good choice. We pop this on Potion. I'm gonna take and just carefully diffuse these edges. And listen, if Shush was more pigmented than this, I feel it would just cover the olive and teal shade. It wouldn't act as a blend out shade. I'm not mad that it's not on and popping like when you apply it on its own. Designed to build. But that's me. That's how I do my eyeshadow looks, because I know people are not a fan of Jaclyn as a person, but I actually like how she does her makeup. Her eye looks are bomb, and she does layer a lot of eyeshadow for one look. This a little higher. This is very, very, very dark. Okay, let's go Temptress. I'm definitely going to use a smaller brush with that. So with that, I'm going to go Smith 247. Let's clean that up with Temptress. Oh, okay. Jaclyn said this was the bomb black, so let's see. I mean, that got dark very fast. Oh, with a little bit of help. All right, Temptress, not bad, but Temptress has a lot. Sorry, this isn't focusing. Temptress has a lot of kickback in the pan, as many of these do. Well, that's not entirely true. Potion and Busted actually were very decent in terms of pan kickback. But Temptress got a lot of dust in there, man. Whoa. Ooh, I kind of want to do Inside Job on the inner portion of my lid. I'm going to put that here. Same Smith brush. See what that does. Now I'm also going to just do this. Why not? I'm just going to complete this look. Still got the other eye. The other eye is for Bling Boss. I'm going to take a very fluffy brush and go in with Potion. Really drag it low. Like low. Alright, I'm going to go in now with Trickery. Really like nice deep teal. I'm not even going to bother with, well, actually, this feels a lot like Gem. Gem is like the beautiful purple metallic shade in Bling Boss, but it's like a tight shade. I had a hard time applying it with my finger, and I had to resort to a shader brush because for some reason it just was not picking up. But with the brush, it's better. Some of these work better with the brush, some work better with the finger. To add a little more punch, I am gonna wet this shade. So I'm gonna take some MAC Thick Blend. See, that's gonna add a little bit more shine. Well, it definitely made it easier to move around on my lid. I'm gonna take Diversion on the other side of my shader brush and apply that to the inner portion of my lid. Corner-ish area, but not all the way. And I'm gonna take Power Cut, maybe with a small pencil, and just get right there. Whoa, that's really shiny. And then up into the other shades. To clean this up, got a little messy. All right, Dark Magic is looking just that. All right, what do we think about Dark Magic? Not too bad. It wasn't a disaster, much of a disaster as I was expecting, because I feel Armed and Gorgeous is the disaster palette out of all four. If I were to compare it from using all of them, like, I didn't use Dark Magic until now. Dark Magic is tough because there's a lot of dark colors in there. If you want to go daily look, you just have to be very careful that you don't apply the teal. But I think it's kind of pretty. Probably did get, I think I got this from Temptress. Temptress, unfortunately, is very kickbacky in the pan. But it could also be that my concealer kind of wore off from the taking off of the eyeshadow. All right, now in with Bling Boss, we're gonna try out this purple palette. Make sure I rub my way in again. That didn't sound right. I'm sorry, Wayne Goss. Let's first go in with Hush Hush. Hush Hush was definitely, again, one of those shades. I mean, you're not gonna see anything. Like, people were asking, where's the pigment? And I'm like, I don't think Hush Hush is for pigment, boo. You're gonna see in a minute when we add all the other shades how it adds a nice gradient to the deeper purple ones. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Sparks, this reddish purple color. Now in with my Morphe M514. Let's take Sparks and slowly start to work that in my outer V. Then I want to take Rockstar, which is more of a deeper plum shade. I'm going to take that also to the outer corner. Now with Hush Hush, Big Wayne will help diffuse this out, which I feel makes sense. If this was any more pigmented, I feel it would just kind of overlap and not actually help diffuse the deeper shades, because it's a very dusty lavender. It's a very like light lavender taupey shade, and on my skin tone, like, I wouldn't want that to come up as a pigmented eyeshadow and just wear on its own. I will definitely use it as a diffuse shade. That's just me, so I don't know. All right, now I'm gonna go in with Mystic, which is an even deeper plum. Again, if you're creating these very highly saturated eye looks, like you want your lids to look painted, it's usually crucial to layer eyeshadow, and that's why I feel she has similar shades within the same palette, so you could do that with. But you know, to each his own. I ain't gonna argue, because everyone does their eyeshadow differently. I went a little crazy here. I'm just gonna take my Wayne and just soften that up. Who's getting her brush collection? Listen, man, the collector in me is crying out yes, but the consumer in me is like, heck no. First of all, I have so many brushes already. I possibly could not need more. Although Sigma was very nice to send me some brushes. Granted, I've already purchased Sigma brushes already. From then, I've already purchased so many others from different brands because I was like new to the makeup game and I wanted to try everything. And of course, also collected a huge amount of Morphe brushes. I don't need any more. Do you want to take, again, my Wayne shader? I'm washing that because it still has some Dark Magic on it. I'm gonna take Gem, which I feel resembles Trickery a lot in texture. And first of all, see, here's the thing. Gem looks gorgeous as a swatch. But when you try to get this on your lid, it is like tough, man. Like you really gotta go in a few times. It's like it doesn't spread. Like I have to keep doing this for it to get on. And once you get on, yes, it looks gorgeous, but you definitely gotta fight with it. You gotta fight with it a little bit. I'm gonna take Ballsy on my Wayne pencil and just graze down under here. This is a pretty shade. What I actually did was I took, what is this? I took Pizzazz, which is a really nice metallic maroon, and I also dragged that along my lower lash line. And then I want to take Bling Bling, same pencil brush, to my inner corner. Oh, you're not gonna focus. Hello. So that's Bling Boss didn't come out as well on camera as I did it this morning. Oh well, you know, what are you gonna do? Alright friends, I'm gonna zoom you out. I'm gonna look a little crazy, but don't fear. I'm just gonna stay like this. Oh my god, final thoughts. How am I gonna, okay. Now, from using all 4 palettes, I can say, yes, they are inconsistent. But here lies the issue. Not that palettes can't be inconsistent. It's the fact that they delayed the first release because of inconsistency, assured us, Jaclyn and Morphe, the whole fam, assured her audience and her customers that they will not experience the same inconsistencies the beauty influencers had in their first release. Unfortunately, they're still there. And I think it's because her 35 pan, her original Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, I think just performed so well, and you have a lot of shades in here that you can layer, that you could probably you know, Ring the Alarm is basically a smaller version of this in terms of the warm shades in here, because there are a lot of them. And ooh, we could do this actually. Let's go back to Bling Boss and quickly swatch the purple from the original palette with the one in the smaller. So here's Gem, and here's the one from the original. So I'm gonna just do Gem over itself and then the first one. So Gem appears to be is a lot more purple. It almost appears ultraviolet, and the one from the original Morphe palette is a more traditional purple. I feel the one, I'm just gonna see right now, I'm taking the original one from the first Morphe palette, and yeah, it just spreads a lot better. I know I'm putting it on top of Gem, but just that short demo, it feels a lot better. It spreads across the lid better. I don't have to fight with it. I felt I needed to go in like over and over again with my finger and a brush. It had a hard time finessing on the lid. And yeah, if you experience something other than that, or you experienced great things with the foils in the original palette, and they assured you that it's gonna be the same formula, then yeah, you're expecting the same thing in terms of performance. I felt that I needed to strategize a lot in order to successfully create eye looks using these 4 palettes. I will say, if you really wanted to try them still, at least get Ring the Alarm. I think Ring the Alarm was the most consistent in terms of performance if I could find it. I think the mattes worked beautifully. I think they blended well. I didn't run into any trouble, and I really loved the look. And I also think this is the most user-friendly out of the 4, simply because you have your browns and your red shades that you can use to intensify the look with, but you could also be really chill and keep it light brown and orange. You have a really beautiful selection of foils here. If you just want to be very simple and apply any of these to the lid, whether it be more golden or more copper. And Lolly is like a nice pink shade that's like rose gold, but actually it's like more pinky. It's like a duochrome type, so reflects gold, although the base is pink. And that will be my recommendation out of like the all 4. Armed and Gorgeous, I feel, is the most disappointing because of this color combination, right? Definitely, if you missed out on the Melt Cosmetics palettes, I'm like blanking right now. If you missed out on Gemini, this I felt resembles best with Gemini if you wanted to get your hands on a similar color story. I'm not sure. You guys sound off below if you picked up Gemini and if it actually performs well. I have to admit, this Top Secret was a tough shade to work with, as you saw in my demo. Although I made it work with my eye look I did 2 days ago, and it looks great on photographs, it is tough. I had to take my time blending and make sure I finessed it so it didn't look patchy on my eyes. And unfortunately, it does not work well on access, so Kiki Chanel was totally correct. She had a hard time applying this on access and it did not do very well. If you insist on getting this palette, I would just stick and combine the warm shades and just leave Potion out on its own. Apply this all over your eyes, make a really nice olive smoke. Maybe you add in some Proud to deepen up the outer corners. Or if you're really happy, if you have 39A, listen, I know this is a huge palette, very inconvenient for traveling, but this actually is a phenomenal palette. The performance of this is outstanding. All the mattes I found, because the only ones from here I'm seeing that I didn't use are like this blue matte here and a couple of the brown shades, but the olive shades, phenomenal. This deep plum shade, gorgeous. These orangey plum red shades, outstanding. I really love this palette. Again, it's a pain to work with because you can't really take it with you unless you're like packing up. I would just bring Ring the Alarm with me, or I would bring Dark Magic. I think I could make Dark Magic work, and I could get away with crazy eye looks during the day because I have in the past, and could definitely make that happen and use this arrangement of colors for during the day. I do feel personally, even though Potion and Top Secret are very similar in shade, that Potion outperforms Top Secret in Armed and Gorgeous. I mean, the main difference I feel is not so much the shade but the performance. This does not perform as well as the one in Dark Magic. And if you wanted to keep it very simple, then you would just go in with and of course, what is this? Mojo. Be very simple with those eye looks. They are more neutral in tone. They're definitely nowhere near as warm as the ones in Ring the Alarm. I'm just gonna say this, I cannot recommend these palettes, unfortunately, because I don't know which one you're gonna get. There are people who say that theirs performed beautifully on their lids, and I've seen several photographs from different artists who look like they made it work. I'm not sure if they, you know, nipped and tucked the photograph to make it look smooth, but some people feel that the shadows performed very well. Because, again, her original palette was just flawless in terms of execution, and the consistency throughout the palette was amazing. I feel her smaller palettes are just not as consistent, and because of that, I would actually recommend, if you really wanted something to try the Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow formula from Morphe, that you get the original palette instead, or you get Ring the Alarm. Bling Boss, like, Bling Boss is a lot. It's like you're gonna get a purple eye, or I just look like I got beat up. Between Dark Magic and Bling Boss, this is not a great combination. So it actually is very funny in a way. Bling Boss is gonna give you purple really fast. If you don't want to deal with that color story, then I would avoid it at all costs. Of course, I can't find it now. Where to go is hiding from me because I'm recommending it. You got a lot of purples in here, man. But I was disappointed with Gem. Gem looked beautiful swatch, but you try to get it on your lid, is like impossible. Like, what is happening? These actually are really nice, but they look so similar. You know what I mean? If we swatch these all together, like the tones, I mean, I understand that the tones are different. Like, this is warmer, this is more purple, this is more silver. In the pans though, they look similar in shade, but I totally understand just from swatching, and they're not the same. They're not. Maybe if you just applied Hush Hush with Mystic, it could be a little more low-key. When you start getting into the other shades, it's gonna get deep and crazy really fast. I'm still happy that I bought the vault because I always want to experience things for myself. I always want to deliver the right information in terms of what I experienced, as I said, and I know everyone's experience. How many times will you say experience? Everyone is going to be different in terms of how they do their makeup, what brushes they use, what primers they use, and I can't honestly say if these improved because I didn't get my hands on the first release. And there is speculation saying they actually didn't destroy those palettes, that they just kind of filtered in with the new ones, and some might get duds. I would only recommend Ring the Alarm. I thought my Ring the Alarm performed beautifully, and they're actually really nice, but they're warm shades, right? Like if you already have Naked Heat, you don't need it. If you already have the original Jaclyn Hill palette, you definitely don't need Ring the Alarm, because Ring the Alarm, again, is a smaller version of 35 pan palette. Listen, you do with what you want. If you still want to go out and buy this vault and figure it out for yourself and experience it for yourself, and by all means, I am not complaining. Like, yes, if I didn't want to deal with this, sure, I wouldn't have bought it, but I wanted to experiment. I wanted to see for myself what the issues were and how I could finagle and figure it out. But I get it, like you shouldn't have to figure out so much. You should just play with your eyeshadow, and all the eyeshadow should perform immaculately, right? Like there should be no bumps in the road. Everything will be flawless, especially because Jaclyn assured us that they would. And unfortunately, not all the shadows in the palettes are flawless. I'm still gonna use all four because I love makeup, I love eyeshadow, and I'm gonna make it work. If you're not a hardcore makeup enthusiast like myself, like I wouldn't waste my money on these because I know, we know, they're not going to be used. If you have eyeshadow that you currently love, then let's not worry about this. Again, I love doing beauty reviews. I love trying things out for you guys, and despite what you might feel about Morphe and Jaclyn Hill and you were still curious about the eyeshadows, then here you go. I will let you know of any updates. If you want me to come back on here again and do another eye look with Ring the Alarm, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. I'm sorry that I didn't put it on here on live, but I felt because that was actually a good palette that I wanted to demo the ones that were, because again, I experienced really great blending with Ring the Alarm longevity. I got a lot of nice compliments on that eye look. Everyone was like, damn, that's a nice eye. I'm like, I know. Dark Magic, I'm still kind of feeling. If I would have maybe put some lashes on or maybe a wing liner. Let me know down below if you picked up any of the new Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palettes, if you have the old one, the comparisons that you observed and all that jazz. I cannot wait to get the Emily palettes because I am so thrilled for her, and oh my god, she is the most genuine, kind person on freaking YouTube now, because the drama going on in this YouTube beauty community is insane. It's actually quite laughable because it's like, what are you guys doing? Anyway, I'm happy to see someone who is not in the drama, that deserves it, that has been on YouTube for years and years and years, is getting the recognition and collabing with a really big brand and doing great things. So yes, gonna come back on here when I get my Emily palette. There have been so many crazy makeup reviews and new products launching recently, and of course Sephora is having their VIP sale today. I am so behind on the recommendation videos. A lot of beauty gurus and influencers have been releasing those videos. I'm sorry for not doing a video geared to my VIB sale recommendations, but if I were to just say it off the bat, definitely get Urban Decay Born to Run. I think that is a phenomenal palette. Matte Velvet Skin from Makeup Forever. I am in the shade Y425. I used a sample and I decided to get it because I was so pleased with the sample tries, and I think my skin looks gorgeous, so I definitely recommend that. I definitely recommend the Too Faced Born This Way concealer for my under eyes. I am in the shade Sand. I've been using this a lot recently, the Fenty Beauty Killawatt Duo Highlighter in Mean Money and Hustla Baby. I've been using that as my highlighter for a few days now, and I just think it's a phenomenal highlight combo for my skin tone. If you are in the tan spectrum, I highly recommend this. Highly recommend the Sun & Park Beauty Water. I've recently purchased like my 7th bottle, and they do have this in Sephora, so that is a phenomenal toner and prep for your skincare. Also, the Drunk Elephant Glycolic Night Treatment. I actually have the big value size over here by my nightstand. So if you love glycolic treatments, I would recommend that you get the big size because you do get more bang for your buck. And with the VIP sale thing going on, you can get a little money off. Definitely recommend the Benefit Goof Proof. I have the shade 3.5. I have been using this non-stop for my brows. I think this might be like my 5th pen. And also, I don't have it with me. I used a sample, but I am convinced that the new Milk Makeup Loose Powder is phenomenal. I tried it in the shade medium. I didn't buy it yet because I was just holding off, but I should just get it now because it's a sale. I really loved how lightweight it was, how moisturizing but not greasy it made my skin, but actually set my makeup and made it last all day. And I did run out, but I think it will be bomb in combination with the Makeup Forever Velvet Skin. That's a good combination. I think those are my top picks right now on the whim if I were to recommend anything to you. This is gonna be such a long video, I'm so sorry. But anyway, sound off below. Let me know what you got from the VIP Rouge sale, what you're thinking about getting, if you picked up the Jaclyn Hill Palace, if whatever. All the stuff we talked about in this video, let me know down below. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another video, chit chat, review, history, story, life, whatever. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.